Okay, I'm going to show you how I make these little coils for your jewelry. I watched a video on YouTube, Oksana Crafts. She does a really good job in explaining things, and I hope I can do that with the way I do it. So we're going to start with what I use. I use 20 gauge dead soft, and she I think uses 18 gauge, and I also use these, my husband's wire stripping pliers. They're kind of old and rusty, but they work really good. They've got this really good cutting blade. It works great for when I do stainless steel. And then I just have these cheap Walmart pliers. So I use this one a lot, and this one I've been using a lot for these coils. I usually use, well, they're kind of tangled up here, but I usually use these. But for the coils, I really like these. And then I use this hammering block. It's actually from my husband's auto body kit, along with this hammer that I stole from him. And I always use like this square edge. I like that. So first you want to get 4.5 inches. You cut some pieces that are 4.5 inches long, and you start, I'm going to be doing this for kind of a thick cord. This is waxed cotton, and it came on a spool, and I rope braided it. I think there's 4 strands there, so it's pretty thick. So I want to start with like the wider part of my pliers. So I'll probably keep it at the middle here. And you just start coiling up towards your hand. And keep this wire right here about the same place on the pliers, so it's all the same size. And then this will build up. And then you want to do this every once in a while. You want to squish it together. You want to do this until you have about 1 inch left, and probably about 1/2 inch for the one that doesn't have the hook on it. So why am I doing it this way? Okay, so I made a mistake and I started doing it backwards. So that's why this is getting smaller, but this will still work. So you want to coil up towards you and have the excess going that way, away from you. That way you don't have that problem. And see, it's about 1 inch. So you squish it together. And if you feel like it's not sturdy enough, you can just take your pliers and you just squish it, and that really stiffens up the wire. So it'll make it a lot sturdier. You can feel it's a lot stronger. I can feel it. And then you take this and you make a little bend in the very end down towards the, like that direction, towards the bottom of the coil, I guess. And then you pinch that. That's the end of your little hook. So then you take these pliers and you go on top of that, right up against it at the widest part, and then you bend up towards the top of this coil, and then you end up with that. And you can kind of like shape it and position it how you want. And you could even like do a little kink right there. So it's like that. And when I get to this point, I do my hammering, which I won't do because it's really loud, but I'll show you how I do it. You just take it, you put the coil at the end so it's off and you won't damage it. You'll just be hitting. If you miss, it's not gonna like damage your coil too bad. So you just hammer right there. I think it's like, I don't think I've missed and damaged any of my coils so far, and this is the first time this is the first day I've ever done this, so you just kind of hammer all the way up to there, and the rest of it's fine. It just strengthens this top piece, so it's not going to go anywhere. So after you hammer that, you have your next piece waiting for you, and you can do this. You can just make these coils like this, and like in bulk, so you don't have to like do each piece at a time. And that's what I did. I did like a whole bunch of smaller, thinner ones and a whole bunch of like thicker ones, depending on the cord that I'm using, the thickness of it. And I leave about an inch for the hooks and about a half an inch for these pieces that the hooks will be on, like hook onto little eyes, whatever. So this one's for the eye. You do the same thing with the coiling. You start here, and I'll show you the right way this time. So you keep it at the middle, and you coil it up towards you. So the coil is actually building away from you. And keep this wire in the same area of your pliers, because you don't want it, if you get down here, then it's gonna get smaller. So, because these pliers are, I guess Oksana, she had like these round pliers that were the same size, like I don't know what they're called, but these are kind of, they get fat and skinny on one side, so they're a little bit different. So I'm gonna do about a half an inch here and about there. Squish it together, and then you want to squish. And at this point, I would probably make more of these same way. It's a lot faster. If you have multiple necklaces, you're wanting to do this too, and then you can darken them, polish them. That's what I plan to do with these. And you take your round nose pliers and you go to the biggest side and you curl it up towards the top of your curl, and you end up with that. So you can see the end of this is just right there, but that's fine. And sometimes I will tuck it in just a tad. Right now, yeah, it may come apart, I don't know, but after you hammer it, so you lay it on the edge right there. Well, I probably want to take these and kind of pinch it to where it's like kinked a little bit and pointing straight. Instead of like slanting sideways, it's a lot easier to hammer whenever it's straight up. So you'll have this little kink right there, like same as the hook. So now you lay it down on the edge of your little block, hammer that, and then you end up with this flat, really sturdy piece. And once you get those done, you just slide this in. Of course, I'm going to darken these first, so I'm not going to pinch it down yet. And take your needle nose and you find the end of this wire and you pinch it. this is the tricky part. Sometimes the wire wants to like duck into that hole. And so you pinch it really tight and then see how it's like off to one side. You just kind of push it over like that. And well, I didn't pinch it down tight enough, but I don't really want to yet because this is just for showing you guys. So I've got some that are pinched down really, really good. Let me see if I can show you this. Got quite a few here. So here's one. See how there, it's pinched really tight. It's not coming out. And I pushed the cord all the way to the back of it. And here's the end. It's pinched really tight right there. And I'm gonna make a lot of bracelets and necklaces using these, so just something new that I've learned, and I wanted to show you how I did it.